What's going on, fam? Hope everybody's doing fantastic out there. Today we have another pass around blade. This one coming from Giant Mouse. This is one of their Ace lines. This is the Ace Nazca. So just taking a look here, this is a little bit different packaging than I've seen with them before. Just a little product code there. And then inside a little pouch we have the knife. So this knife is one that I really do like. I just wish it wasn't a crossbar. I've kind of gotten a little tired of crossbars, quite honestly. It's a lock type that just doesn't do a whole lot for me. But when they're done well, they're acceptable. In this case, like this one is done extremely well. And I have several other knives in my collection that are crossbars, and as long as they're done well, I don't mind them whatsoever. So here we do have a pretty nice clip point blade. There's a very interesting looking clip point. Very interesting knife overall. 3.1 inch on the blade, 7.5 overall. Is a 4-ounce knife. So there is some weights there, and right there is part of that weight. Carbon fiber with some steel liners. Now this is BE.EDC.NC OEM'd, so that way you kind of understand some things. $265 price tag. Honestly, all things considered, not terrible. Not the best, but not terrible. You are looking at MagnaCut, so that has a lot to do with the price tag as well. So let's go ahead and jump right on into this thing and talk about it up close. So you have a nice flush pivot. Really well chamfered carbon fiber. Very well done. This is like an end cut or a shred carbon fiber. I'm not sure exactly what they call that. Not your typical carbon fiber. You do have very rounded lock bar, crossbar there. It does have some jimping, but it's not, or has some scalloping or whatever you want to call it, some stepping, but it's not super grippy. In this case, I actually don't mind that. Really good access to your thumb studs, which is wonderful. Do have a reversible wire clip. We are looking at, looks to be T6 hardware. Yeah, T6 hardware. Maybe that's T8. I can't tell. I'll tell it here in just a second. Sometimes with these button head screws, it makes it a little more difficult for me to see. Again, wire pocket clip. You do have a brass backspacer. It is a quarter length backspacer, but it is solid brass. So that does add some weight. Nice little lanyard loop there, and you do have lefty love since it is a crossbar lock, and that makes things a lot better. More of the same on this side. Everything looks pretty doggone good. Let's go ahead and fire out this blade here. So again, very wicked clip point with a swedge. There you've got a satin blade, belt satin. You can see my fingerprint already. I thought I wiped that off. Pretty nice jimping right out here on the blade, probably exactly where you're going to need it. Giant Mouse logo there. It is MagnaCut. No other branding on the knife whatsoever. Plunge grind looks to be really good. Sharpening looks to be good. It is a flat grind. Wait, no, wait a minute. Let's see, let's look at that. I don't see any refraction, so yeah. Pretty sure that's a flat grind. I don't see any curvature there. Yeah, I'm going to say it's a flat grind. I could be wrong. If I am, sue me. Sharpening looks to be good. BE.EDC.NC always does a really good job with theirs. See how that tip looks. Focus. There we go. Tip looks good. All right. Let's take a look at our hardware. T8, fantastic there. And like I thought, that is T6 stuff. So all the rest of our screws are going to be T6. I'm not one of the people that's like, oh, T8 the world, but at this point, there's really no point in doing T6s. I mean, I get it. There's case scenarios where, they say that they can't run T8s, but I mean, I've seen T8s on just about everything at this point, so really need to just start doing T8s. And then maybe, like I said, the occasional T6 is fine. So yeah, so the knife in general, action is phenomenal. It's one of those really good crossbar locks. It's done really well. It's got a pretty strong spring, but the geometry on the blade itself, where it interacts with the crossbar, is done really well. Spring's not super strong, but it is a stronger spring. And let's see, are we able to do one-handed? Yeah, you can do it with just your thumb, so no issues there. Reverse flick. Let's see. Yeah, I can reverse flick it. That means 90% of the rest of the population will be able to reverse flick it, as long as I get my big old freaking meats out of the way. Let's see, maybe be easier with just my... Yeah, it's just easier with just my pointer finger. So, like I said, reverse flick's just fine. Ergonomically, it is very sound. You know, you get out there on that jimping, you've got a power cut behind you. That is really nice. Just without stretching out, you still have plenty of grip on the knife. That weird cut out there for the thumb studs does kind of act like an anchoring point for your finger. Doesn't create any hot spots or anything like that. It's not super comfortable. It's not super not comfortable. It's just kind of there. Kind of, like I said, it kind of just gives you an anchor point, almost like a finger choil, but smaller. Full hand, full grip knife. Again, it's a 7.5 inch overall knife, 3.1 inch. Like I said, it does weigh a little bit more because of that insert, and you got your steel liners. But I'm not mad at it. I think it's a good little knife. I mean, for what you're getting, $265. I mean, BE.EDC.NC OEM, Magna Cut, carbon fiber. It's a like I said, it's a good looking knife. So that's completely up to you if you think it's worth, if the juice is worth the squeeze or whatever you want to say there. For me, it's a knife that was not really on my radar. It kind of is now. They do make some budget versions of this, and I use that term very loosely, especially when it comes to giant mouse. But they do make some versions that are not carbon fiber, that are micarta. I think the blade steels are still the same. I'm assuming they'll be a little bit cheaper with micarta. So that's kind of one of those things where, you know, if it's not a fancy carbon fiber, you know, as long as it's good micarta, which I know Giant Mouse does really good micarta, BE.EDC.NC does really good micarta, so I would probably go with one of the micarta versions. But this particular version is definitely a looker, especially if you are a carbon fiber aficionado. Yeah, outside of that, guys, I'm going to end it here. I appreciate y'all for watching. Please remember, like, comment, share, subscribe. Most importantly, be kind, be humble, be EDC. Take care.